So next question I have is from Facebook, which is Akil Mahmood. And his question is, hi Saj, do you feel there is a recession approaching? If so, would you keep buying properties or reserve funds? Great question. I definitely think there is a recession coming. I was just on a group call with my mentoring students just before this session, and that's one of the things we were talking about, the signs and the indicators of when the market's going to start changing. So right now we're at a point in the marketplace where coronavirus has had a huge impact on our lives already in terms of what we could do, our work, going out and about. And this is going to start having a deeper effect and ultimately start affecting the economy and, of course, property transactions. And when it starts affecting property transactions as well, then that means from what we're doing in terms of strategies and things will also evolve. So how do we know we're in a recession? Well, really, it's just it's 2 months of consistent shrinking of economy of the GDP. And when that happens, then officially we're in a recession. But essentially, what is a recession? A recession is people are not spending money. People are not spending as much money, and that's the thing that we're looking for and how that affects the property market in terms of what we're doing. So I think I've got another question about auctions in a moment, so I'll talk about auctions separately because I think they're a good indicator. But when the market starts to slow, you start seeing prices dropping, you start seeing properties sticking, you start seeing deals falling out of bed. And then when you're having conversation with the agents, you can see not many people are coming through the door. Or literally right now, when we're unable to even go out and view properties, all these things are going to cause the market to shrink and a recession. So I think the question isn't about are we going to have a recession? It's a case of how deep is that recession going to be and how long is it going to go for? I think those are the key questions and those are the things that we need to be thinking about. And right now, we don't know. We don't know how long this is going to go on for, and we don't know how deep and difficult this recession could possibly be. But here's the thing you should be doing right now, steadying your ship. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is making sure everything you're already doing at the moment, whether you're in property already or in the early stages, you've been doing this for many years, just make sure you've got everything solid. Make sure you understand implications of deals that you're doing right now in terms of if there's change in the market, have a plan B and a plan C ready, and just be on top of things like making sure your rents that you're collecting, conversations with tenants, with what's going on, just to make sure you're on a fairly solid platform. I think that's key. That's the first thing that we should be doing. And then the next stage will be looking for opportunities as the market changes. So Akil's question around whether there'll be a recession, I'm quite sure there will be. It's just how long that recession will last and how deep that recession will become, and how much of an impact that will have on the housing sector. The deeper the recession is, the more house prices will fall and the slower the market will get. So I know there'll be new and different types of opportunities. Like if you've been following my stuff for any period of time, you know I'll talk about in Birmingham, for example, it's very difficult to find below market value property, BMV property or discounted property as some people refer to it as. You know, it's difficult because there's a huge number of buyers right now. They're pushing the prices up, so there's very little scope for BMV. However, when the market changes like it inevitably will in the coming weeks and months, more opportunities will arise for BNB. So this is where you can adapt your strategy, and it's really important that you are agile and nimble enough to adapt as the market changes. You'll find that you'll start seeing opportunities that you hadn't seen for some time. So as I was saying just earlier on, I was speaking to my inner circle mentees, and one of the things we were talking about is recession back in 2008. Around that time, what was going on, how the market was changing, what opportunities had come about. Now, each time a recession happens, is different things that trigger that recession. It isn't exactly the same thing that happened previously. So it isn't going to be a replica of what happened previously, but we can take some learnings from some of the things that happened back in 2008, 2009, around that period of time, and apply some of those to the market right now. So Akila, hopefully that answers your question. So your other question was whether it's Birmingham or big city or anywhere else. Well, really it depends on the strategy you're doing ultimately. So for example, in an ordinary market, if you're looking for 20% below market value, it's unlikely you're going to find that in a booming city like Birmingham during ordinary times. But if you went up to the northwest, you could probably find those type of deals a lot easier. So it does depend on the strategy that you're following, because the city you can't look at in isolation. It needs to be looked at with the type of strategy you want to use, the kind of funds you're looking to get involved in those projects. How much cash you're looking to kind of bring into these transactions, and ultimately, whether you're building a portfolio, you're building to sell, what is it that you're looking to try and do? So yes, I'm a big fan of Birmingham. I think a huge number of strategies work out. I think it's a great place. Clearly, we're in uncertain times right now with coronavirus and everything else. We're not quite sure which way the market will turn. I suspect that we're going to head for a recession right now. But depending on the strategy you're looking at, I think it's important to tie that in with the location you're thinking about as well, to make sure that it works.